What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video. A cute fairy flying type Pokemon that received a buff is indeed Togetic, a double buff with less energy cost now for Psyshock as well as Dazzling Gleam, and the high energy generation of Fairy Wind. This Pokemon now gets to its harder hitting charge attacks quite a bit quicker. And we are going to be running this with double Ghost, so pretty simple strategy, right? The Fairy type to try and beat the Dark types, and then we have double Ghost in the back. Sableye going to normally act as the safe swap, and Dusclops, a bulky Pokemon with the Hex buff now, generate energy quicker, is really strong, really bulky. Here we go. Togetic, double Ghost. Let's see what happens, and this is the lead we want. We catch the Dark type in the lead. In comes Credilli. Credilli safe swap. We've already made a Credilli video, and I don't have like the most obvious answer in the world here, so I'm gonna stay in momentarily, chip, and actually get a shield advantage. And now I'm thinking, you know, even if I lose switch advantage here against this Credilli, since it has an energy head start, that's okay with me, because Sableye up energy is gonna be great against the opposing Sableye. We go for an Ice Punch here, chunking, and they're going to hit us with another Rock Tomb here. I do want to overfarm a little bit in case they were to swap back in Sableye. I don't want to be energy dry. So I overfarm slightly, going for another Ice Punch here. Super effective, but we are double debuffed at this point, so it doesn't do very much. And I decide, you know what? I'm going to let this go and go for a full Shadow Claw down with Sableye. Looks like a little bit of buffering there. That's all right. Sableye gets the farm down. Now we have all this energy. Let's go. They come in with their own Sableye, not running Dazzling Gleam, mostly because of a charge TM situation that I'm low on, but also I think Power Gem has just as much play right now. I think Power Gem against flying types has just as much play. It's also a little bit less energy still than Dazzling Gleam, and I mean here, Power Gem's going to really come in handy. Power Gem, super effective. And at this point, we just Shadow Claw everything down, I believe. I'm going to put up the Protect Shield here. They do have the Brutal Swing, and we get the full Shadow Claw down. Their opposing Sableye is really low, and a pretty straightforward game number one. Credilli safe swap a little bit awkward, so I think you could play it one of two ways. You could instant swap Dusclops, or you could play it like we did and chip and then go Dusclops. I think either makes sense. Togetic into Swampert, so we're going to resist the mud shots, of course, but they now have access to that Sludge, which is going to be super effective, and I go for the catch on Sableye. Dude, Sludge is such a nasty move. I know I keep repeating myself like a broken record, but even resisted does like 30% there to Sableye. Going to go for the Power Gem here. Are they going to respect it? Are they going to respect the Power Gem? Boom! No, they're not. Now, I could shield and go for switch here, but I decide, you know what? I think I'd rather actually just let this go and go for a farm down. And look at all this energy we now have with Togetic. What is going to enter the battlefield? Is it going to be Swampert? No, it's going to be Fortress. So you could argue I should have kept this energy and just gone straight into Dusclops, but I throw energy first. And this is going to allow Fortress now to hit us first with an attack, which isn't ideal. I decided to take the Rock Tomb, knowing that Swampert's Hydro Cannons will be even more threatening. So we go for the Shadow Punch here. We are debuffed, so not doing as much damage as we would like. This looks like a weird situation, because this next Shadow Punch, not quite going to be enough. And at what point do we swap to clear our debuff here? We shield the Hydro Cannon. We swap now. And I don't fall for the CMP, because we would lose that chart attack priority. And Swampert has a higher attack, so I overfarm here. Psyshock, I'm at 2. Do they let it go and put it all on Fortress? No, they shield. And they do catch, unfortunately. And I waited, which allowed him to sneak a full Volt Switch through. That's brutal. Would have been better off just throwing instantly, and then they would have got one less Volt Switch. They're going to be forced to fire off an attack here. And it's just a mirror shot. So I actually am able to save Togetic, get to a Shadow Punch. And I think we're in a pretty good situation right now. We have double Shadow Punch back to back. We go in back to back. And I think this should knock out Swampert since we cleared our debuff, right? Shadow Punch. Yeah, even Swampert was lower than I remembered. Even with the debuff, probably still knocks out. Good game there, trainer. Good game. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get to any Willpower Cup content until after the weekend's over. So hopefully that's not too big of an issue if there's any big Willpower Cup fans out there. But once I get back from my trip this weekend, we can start doing some Willpower content. Here we go. Foul play against the Furret. So it's a good thing that Sableye lured out the Furret, right, and not Dusclops. Dusclops would really struggle here. But Sableye able to take a Trailblaze and is going to be able to either pull a shield advantage here or flip this matchup. Second foul play, grabs the Protect Shield. And Togetic kind of walls, I guess doesn't really wall it with Swift. Swift will still hurt here for some neutral damage, but walls with the Sucker Punch and the Trailblaze, so it kind of forces them to go for the not as threatening Swift. They swap out into their Charjabug, and this is going to allow me to line up my Dusclops here, which is going to have a better matchup than the Togetic, of course. They also give me a free Hex, which is quite nice. I just had to take the first, knowing that he's probably going to get to 2 discharges no matter what. And I'm going to overfarm here. And knowing that a Shadow Punch doesn't quite knock out, I don't get too greedy here. I just do 1 and throw. Could have overfarmed a little bit more, but we just want to throw in correct timing, try to get rid of this thing. And they swap into Furret. Is Ice Punch enough here? I'm not sure. Ice Punch nearly knocks out. We get the Fairy Wind down. What's going to be in back? They're thinking. Charjabug's not coming in. He's too low. And it's Blastoise. Interesting. So Blastoise not ideal here for Togetic with that super effective rollout damage, but we are ahead energy. And I get to a Psyshock here. They almost have to shield because this would put them low enough where they're in jeopardy of getting fast attack down. So they put up the final Protect Shield. And at this point, I'm thinking just put this all on the back of Dusclops probably, right? Oh, no. I shield Togetic because I guess I can do this. Is there any way this gets scary, though? No, I don't think it gets scary because Togetic should win the CMP against Blastoise. And we get to a Shadow Punch here, which I think will be enough to knock out the bulky boy. The bulky Blastoise. GG. Let's go, baby. And it's on to the next one. Should be a couple more battles in this video. Battle starting. Togetic into Dunsparce. Dunsparce, pretty bad core breaker. Rise, what do you do against a Dunsparce? I don't know, Larry. I don't know. We're going to find out here. We're going to find out here what we do against the Dunsparce. Dazzling Gleam connects, and I am able to catch on Dusclops, so we're swapping into a bad matchup, right, which is questionable, but we catch a Rock Slide on Dusclops, which is nice. Rock Slide, not a very hard-hitting attack, and Dunsparce not threatened here at all, so they're just totally willing to stay in. Gonna throw Ice Punch. Unfortunately, Ice Punch is not going to be enough to knock out from this range because of these two bulky Pokemon. We're going to have to eat another Drill Run here, unfortunately. But the positive in this situation is we preserve our Togetic, and we're hoping that, like, once Dunsparce is gone, maybe our Togetic will have more play against the back Pokemon. In comes Fortress. So we're going to get off a Parting Shadow Punch. I'm going to have to let Fortress farm me down here because we don't want our Togetic aligned with the Fortress. But I get to another Shadow Punch, and this is where you're seeing the true spamminess of Dusclops. So spammy. Debating whether I want to Protect Shield here or not. I do decide to Protect Shield, and it is a Rock Tomb, so that's fine. In comes G-Weezy. This is getting kind of scary now. G-Weezy, assuming it has Sludge, I mean, not going to be a good time for our Togetic. I swap in, and it's non-Shadow, so I'm thinking, okay, I should be able to live a Sludge. Barely, though. Barely. We do get off a Psyshock here. I would really love for this to land, and it does land. Maybe this opens up some play for us, but I don't know. They might simply get to 2 charge attacks here, and I lag a turn. That could be devastating here. So I let it go. It is the resisted Sludge, and I don't know. I think we probably lose anyway, but we should have taken 1 less Fairy Wind there. had we not lagged. So if I had taken one less Fairy Wind, would I have lived that Volt Switch to then reach the next foul play? Maybe. I was pretty low, though, so I think even without that Fairy Wind, there's still a good chance that one Volt Switch would have knocked me out anyway. But unfortunate, right? Unfortunate when, like, the one-turn lag potentially made the difference in the game. I think it probably was the same, but who knows? Like, maybe I barely live a Volt Switch if I had taken one less Fairy Wind there, so that's unfortunate. We see the similar situation to an earlier game where they say swap Credilli, and we are going to stay in momentarily to chip and then proceedingly dip. What is your favorite chip and what is your favorite dip? Let me know in the comments below. They Rock Tomb us. I make a mistake here. I throw Ice Punch immediately, and what this is going to allow him to do is switch his Sableye before I have energy. I should have overfarmed here. I do get a shield, though, which is going to help me. And I'm going to throw Shadow Punch immediately to try and dip out if I can. But the switch timer is just barely not up. Oh, man. We get farmed down. Not great. But yeah, I should have overfarmed there because then I could have maybe stalled out the clock and had a punch like ready to go for Sableye and not get farmed down. We do land the Dazzling Gleam since a Psyshock would be resisted. And this looks pretty decent for us. Shadow Sableye does like this matchup against Clodsire. Clodsire definitely can threaten with that Earthquake, but it's not going to one-shot, so that's why I'm going to elect to let this go, I believe. Because it doesn't one-hit KO me, but it does do a lot of damage, as you see. In comes Cradily. And, you know, Sableye now with the increased pacing, only 5 Shadow Claws to foul play. I think we get to another before they can farm us down, so they're actually forced to, throw energy here. I decide to let it go, hoping I can knock this out before it Rock Tombs me. And that is what we're going to do here. And now you see the great Psyshock coverage coming in handy with Togetic. Because on paper, this is a terrible matchup for Togetic. But with this Psyshock coverage, we can hit it for super effective. And Togetic is going to look to knock out this Clodsire up a shield. We're, of course, going to respect whatever this is. Sludge Bomb. And Togetic about to knock out the Clodsire. Awesome stuff. Togetic looking adorable, but also looking deadly. And we're able to take a 4-1 set, was that? Yeah, 4-1. And move on to rank 6 in the Go Battle League. Some of these videos have been like a little bit out of order. Some of my earlier ranks, higher ranks. I think we're at like rank 11 or something right now. I forget. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All 3 of these mons receiving buffs. Togetic a double buff. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this content, hit that like button, subscribe for me. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.